Welcome back, gods and goddesses, to the Gifted Goddess channel, where I channel my gifts for you as a collective, and I encourage you to not only seek your gifts, but find ways you can contribute them to the collective in any way that you deem fit. So let's get right into the message. First off, I got holiday season. So, if you've been listening to the messages previously, we've been kind of going through the different holidays coming up, it seems like, and just reaping the energy of said holidays, right? So, we've already discussed Halloween. If you didn't watch that Halloween Town, you can go back to that as we are approaching Halloween. So, there may be a message in there if I was called to mention it. I'm getting your reaping gifts. There can be miracles when you believe. Sorry, I was about to sing, then I changed my mind. So that could be significant. You changing your mind about something. Perhaps within this holiday season, you'll be changing your mind, shifting gears, so to speak. I'm getting changing your mind about family events. So, about going to family events, I'm seeing out of town trips. So, do what you feel called to do, whatever's going to make you feel comfortable and happy. Don't go out of obligation. You know, the holiday season is supposed to be a time of joy and kind of rejuvenation. You know, you're getting time off a little more frequently through these next couple months from work, hopefully. So, definitely be in spaces where you'll be happy and celebrated and not kind of pulled down or taunted or whatever. Somebody needs to hear that. It's not what I had planned to say, of course. So I have the song Bricks by Gucci Mane. And if you haven't noticed, Gucci has been in the news lately, popular culture news. If you don't know who Gucci Mane is, perhaps you should look up some of his songs. With this song in particular, he's talking about bricks while he's talking about, you know, illegal substances. What I got from it was building bricks, like the building blocks to legacy, so much that you don't know what to do with. He says that in a song. He says something about like not knowing what to do with all basically that he has, right? So just be mindful of that. This is the reaping season, right? You will receive gifts. Okay, so from reaping gifts, I'm getting two different energies. So it might be physical, tangible gifts and more gifts, spiritual gifts, heightened gifts, right? I still got to get back to that gifted class. Okay. So I got the word titular, which means bearing titles signifying status or nobility, legal titles, or works of art. So something about that is significant for you. I'm getting this will be different for other people in the collective. Remember, take what resonates. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. Don't again feel obligated. Something about obligation is coming in. So perhaps you have a lot of work obligations that you feel rushed or called to finish. Just flow. Just cruise with it. Flow. Embrace the ebbs and flows. That's something I learned in a class I took today about business. So perhaps someone needed to hear that. Embrace the ebbs and flow if you are in a time where you're seeing less traffic in your business. Traffic is significant. Someone could be sitting in traffic listening to this, but if you're seeing less traffic in your business, whatever that may be, clients, physical traffic in and out of stores, whatever it may be, sometimes that can be an indication of you needing a break, like you needing a rest period, and it's basically being forced upon you because you won't do it yourself. And if you're in this collective with me, that probably resonates because sometimes I have to be literally forced to take a break, right? So, you know, here we are, but I'm back with another message. Then I got a lot of some about work of art. So I'm getting, if you're on this channel and if you resonate with the Gifted Goddess channel, you definitely have to resonate with the artists of it all, right? Maybe you guys are writers, painters, music producers, composers, because that energy comes through a lot. So embrace it. Don't force the art. If you are an artist, whatever lane, don't force it. Let it come to you, right? It has a life of its own, has a spirit of its own, and when you try to force it, it like you'll be displeased with it. And artists know what I'm talking about. When you force it, it's not quite right, and you end up going back and changing it anyway sometimes, or just doing it over. If you're anything like me. So don't get out of the perfectionist Virgo energy is what I'm getting. Embrace a laissez-faire type of system. I got Lotta, and I forget which song it was. She said they gave me a holiday. So something about that is significant. Perhaps you're getting awarded with a holiday, or in the future, I'm hearing near future, somebody is going to be rewarded a holiday in their city, their town, their state. You know how they might declare it April Johnson Day, right? For something. I'm getting notoriety, right? So with this, bearing titles of significant status, that could be the title you're getting, a holiday or a day in your town, keys to the city I'm seeing. So the all black entourage in one of Lotto's videos, that was the starting point of the video. I believe it was the song There She Go. And I'm getting the ancestors are like, oh, there she go. Like you're popping out. You're finally stepping into your personal power. So the ancestors are hype, 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 hype. Somebody will need security. You will be able to employ people. So this is boss babe energy. Like you are definitely doing the damn thing. People are going to be loving everything about you and everything you do. You also have love energy coming in. I see you. By Coco Jones could be significant. That song is something that I got. So somebody who really sees you, who really can embrace you as you embrace your new journey, right? There's enough people who want to stifle you and hold you back and kind of shackle you to the past, but you will have a partner, I'm getting, that will see you through your kind of journey, right? And hold your hand along the way. Practical magic is significant. So I don't know if somebody's watching that movie. It's definitely that time of year, Halloween. So it could be on TV. I haven't watched it this year. Now that I say that, I'm going to have to watch it. That's one of my favorite movies in the witchy realm of things. But what I always get from practical magic is you're somebody who uses practical magic in real life, like no spells, just being practical, and being you, right? And working the art of being you. And it's your way of thinking, it's your way of being. That is the practical magic, right? You are the spell I'm getting. So how you pour into yourself, the love you pour into others, that's the practical magic, right? Some of us don't do all the extra. I'm seeing 1212 when I say that. So you're great at what you do. You're artist and spiritual too, allowing space for interpretation. So you are open to being a student, right? We talk about that all the time here. So with this love energy, I'm getting, babe, I got things I want to say. What song is that? I got things I want to say. Won't you meet me in the back room? A lot of Jamie Foxx energy was coming up. I am a super Jamie Foxx fan. To me personally, we need a new album. So that could be significant. Also, this person is basically saying, what is this? Sorting through conflicting emotions. Because in that Jamie Foxx song, he says, I can tell things ain't right on the home front. Basically saying they don't want to disrupt anything that you have going on. They don't want to cause any chaos in your life. But I'm getting there's something in your eyes that can't be denied. They're trying to discern, so they're taking time before deciding as well. I have messages coming in, phone calls for clarity. So just expect that to come into the energy, right? I got Vanilla Sky also. So if you haven't watched the movie Vanilla Sky, it's with Tom Cruise. That could be significant. A lot of Tom Cruise movies keep coming up for me to channel through. So perhaps you're a Tom Cruise fan. But I love the Vanilla Sky movie. It is such a interesting movie. It makes you think. And until recently, I was kind of back and forth with my interpretation on it, but going through this spiritual journey and embracing a spiritual path, I kind of look at it from a spiritual sense now. But for this reading, let's keep it short. Let's keep it cute. This person doesn't have to mask with you. And remember, in Vanilla Sky, he had options. He had two of the options, right? So he wanted Penelope Cruz character. Any of these names could be significant. Your name, another person's name, someone that you know, something that ties you to this energy or will make this resonate for you. But he liked the Penelope Cruz character. And he used to be friends with benefits with the Cameron Diaz character. I don't remember the ladies' names. I should have probably looked that up. But due diligence is coming through, right? So do your due diligence, or they're trying to do their due diligence in choosing the right partner, right? But in the movie, what was kind of the twist, if you will, they kind of morphed into each other and he couldn't tell one from another. He was back and forth in reality and what wasn't. And the whole time it had you questioning your own sanity watching the movie. So definitely a dope movie, but perhaps you are conflicting to this person. Perhaps you guys were, in a friends with benefits situation and now it's kind of morphing into something else and they're kind of like confused by it. I got 12:40 on the clock. So, whoa, I got 12:40 on my wrong clock and the timer of the video. That's wild. So something about that day could be significant. 12:4. I'm getting 4:21. Those could be birthdays, addresses, phone numbers, whatever. Let's see. That's a 7 in total. So that could be significant. But he basically decided, right? Like he wanted the Penelope Cruz character. Oh, like I was saying, I kind of lost my train of thought. So you could be going through that as well. But perhaps you guys have a situation, this love interest is morphing into something else for both of you, I'm getting. So it's probably taking some time to wrap your head around it, right? Because this movie was very twisted and it took some years to wrap your head around it for me. So I feel like still, if you watch that movie, you can get 12 different interpretations. So perhaps that's the energy of this relationship. It's been some years. This is definitely sounding like somebody you know. And it's taken some time, months, years, I'm getting definitely years. And they are finally opening up their heart to, or listening to their heart to what this is or always has been. So interesting. I'm getting you will be the blueprint, right? So I have green heart chakra. That's crazy. Pink, yellow, purple, and blue. So those colors came out significantly, and I'm actually looking at all those colors sitting in front of me. Wow. And I channeled this message a few days ago. I didn't write the date on it, and that's something I'm going to have to get better with. Dates are important. So literal dates, I'm getting like for business wise and taking you out on a date, that type of date energy. So with green, we know that's heart chakra. Pink, we know that's all about love and I was about to say passions, but that's more red. But pink is just love and that girl, divine feminine kind of energy. And as we all know, we have both male and female energy. So perhaps, this person is opening up to that if they're a male or more in their masculine energy, right? Take it as it resonates, flip it how it needs to go. If you're in more of your masculine energy, whether you're actually a male or a female in masculine energy, right? You could or they could be opening up to that softer side, that emotional side, right? And less in the mind, in the ego, and opening up to that softer side. Yellow is significant, so that yellow chakra, solar plexus, all about confidence. So perhaps that's the confidence. And yeah, because we have blue and purple after that. So confidence in speaking up and, using their intuition or following their intuition to be confident and speak up about this, softening this heart, this feeling that they're having. Saturday could be very significant. I got fire energy, inspiration, again with the 12-4. That's definitely, and then 421 Aries and Sagittarius, definitely fire energy. Earth as well. I was channeling that. So then I got, anytime we have good energy, right, here comes the naysayers. So I have people will fire shots, never mind the naysayers. People will always crucify what they don't understand and can't attain. So be mindful of that. They've received the final warning about slandering your name. Stand back, steer clear, shock of their life. So when I was channeling that stand back, steer clear, it was like an emergency room and they using like, what are those paddles? I forget what it's called, to like shock somebody back to life, when someone flatlines. So, hopefully it doesn't have to be that drastic. I'm just seeing someone nodding yes in my head. So, we'll leave that there. I don't like to dive into that energy. But people are getting the shock of their life. Just one, seeing you elevate, and two, somebody's going to have to be resuscitated. Like it'll probably be that extreme. They took you for granted. Lizzo. Then we turned around and got back on our step, popping our P out here, okay? I mean, not that P. Popping these passions and projects, okay? So I got Lizzo. Projects are definitely significant. I had a dream about being in projects, and I know it wasn't in my city where I live. So that could be significant for some. I'm getting Maine. I'm getting Maine 207. I keep getting 207, 211. So if that's your area code, those area codes can be significant. Lizzo, her song, I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that. So your confidence, that yellow solar plexus, right? Showing up heavy, right? That's definitely activated, or you healed that chakra specifically. I'm getting through the heart space because I just checked my mic and I see my green light. So, working on that heart is vital to healing, right? That's the whole reason I created a heart work journal. If you're interested, you can find it on Amazon. All you have to do is type in the heart work journal and it'll pop right up. I have to get one of the younger folks to tag that below. And, but yeah, the heart work, just think about the heart in real life, right? We got a lot of heart chakra energy coming through. The heart pumps blood throughout the whole body. So if you have any blockages, specifically emotional blockages, right, that we try to stuff down and ignore, those traumas that kind of bring about a different, what is it called? You kind of living in survivor mode, or it alters your way of thinking when you experience different traumas. So you navigate the world differently. Well, that's created a blockage. And so now let's say hypothetically the blood has to take another path or another route to, let's say, feed the arm blood through the vessels, right? So you can tell I'm a funeral director, right? Or somebody that knows vessels. So you would have to take an alternate path to get to feed the hand what it needs to survive. So of course you're going to do anything to survive, even if you have to carve another way through pain. And that must be significant for someone because I do not have that written down. But healing the heart is so imperative because it causes blockages and it doesn't allow you to use your natural system, that well-oiled machine that we're supposed to be. You can't use it and fire it on all four cylinders because you've created all these other pathways through pain. And that's not how we're intended to operate and live life. So healing the heart and those emotional blockages, uncovering those traumas, the traumatic wounds, those things, and getting to the nature of things. I'm hearing, okay, coping methods. I worked in mental health for a number of years, over 14 years. And method we used to use is like CBT and DBT, different grounding techniques. They do it in spirituality too. But for CBT or DBT, they will have you, I'm getting specifically DBT. So maybe somebody's studying that or you need to look into that to help you. It's like a self-soothe grounding thing, right? So if you're feeling anxious or worried or sad and depression, any of those things, you can use different things to provide comfort for yourself. I know for me, if I feel any type of way, I want a fuzzy blanket, a fuzzy pillow, fuzzy socks, like give me all the comfort items, right? And, there's some people who have stuffed animals or whatever it is that brings you actual comfort. And I'm not talking about the surface level things like getting your hair done and nails done. Okay, that's cute and that's cool. That might do something for your confidence, right? And I'm sure it does stuff, for some people, but I'm talking about tending to the actual emotions, not just covering it up with makeup and all the exterior things, right? No judgment here. Do your best thing. Live how you live, right? But definitely work on healing that heart chakra. That's definitely meant for somebody because, again, I didn't intend to say that. It's not written down here. Something is insurmountable, or you feel like something is insurmountable. DNA tests are significant as well. I forgot to mention that. 100% blood test. Something about blood tests, DNA tests, something being 100%. So I don't know if that's paternity tests or some other testing, but have faith that it'll work out in your favor and trust that you can handle whatever comes your way. But like I said, something feels insurmountable to someone or immeasurable. Someone's sister, as far as this slandering, someone's sister is finally seeing the truth now, or whatever that means to you. Okay, so someone's sister perhaps was involved in this slandering or I'm getting a bystander to it, an innocent bystander or I got willing participant. That's not what I was trying to say, but I guess an unknowing participant. So not knowing all the facts, right? So basically they're finding out you were real all along, despite the attempts to slander and assassinate your character. I got be humble. To whom much is given, much is required. So you will be setting the blueprint for the family system. You will be the one to kind of cruise in this energy of abundance I'm getting. I got 6. So, balance in family or relationships might be required or needed or something that will take place over time. I got synthetic, synesthesia again, synthetic. Something isn't authentic, and probably that's what needs healed, the inauthenticity. Woo, say that 5 times fast. And in relationships, particularly familial relationships, perhaps extended family, right? Because synthetic systems could just mean, perhaps in-laws and things like that, extended family who's not really your blood family, but extended family. So that can need some healing. With great power comes great, and I do mean great responsibility. So that's significant for someone. You're about to be in a position of power. Really hone in on that solar plexus. I'm getting embrace your confidence. Do what you need to do to feel confident. And I'm here to say yes to all the things you need to say yes to. Say no to all the things you need to say no to. Trust your instincts. Again, that wasn't written down. So 2s and 3s are significant. So from that, I got balancing creative projects and ideas, right? Because 2 is all about balance, and then 3 about embracing, your creativity and bringing those kind of things into manifestation into real life. So balance your creative projects and ideas to get this abundance, right? Multitasking will be significant. Communicate your needs. I'm getting delegate as you see fit. Something is written over that I can't see. Somebody's writing over something, rewriting something. You're rewriting the script. Or you forced something earlier, like I mentioned, and now you're redoing it because you forced it. Let it flow, right? It's not meant to be so serious. Art is, they call it a work of art for a reason. It's work, but it takes on like a work or a life of its own, you know what I mean? And it communicates to you in a way that artists know what I'm talking about. I'm having a hard time explaining it, but if you're an artist, you could start writing a book and then, or a poem or something like that. Definitely writers and energy. Like myself, I'll have a sentence for a poem and I'll have it for years. And then all of a sudden, years later, I see it randomly shuffling through papers and I'm like, oh, and I read it again, that one sentence, and now it sparks a whole poem and it's finished. So divine timing is definitely at play, and trust that you'll get it done as you are supposed to. Multitasking is significant. Think of Thanksgiving, cooking 17 different things. So 717 could be significant, 17 or 7177 could be significant. Phone codes, 17 different things, everything, everywhere, all at once. If you cook a lot, that that's the case with Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving could be significant for someone here. So that is significant for somebody. That timing may be significant. Perhaps you're planning to have something finished by then, or perhaps you will have something finished by then. Okay, guys, so that's it for the message. Being guided to cut it there. Let's not make the video too long. So embrace family is what I'm getting. Embrace your gifts, embrace your family. Our hierarchy should always be the most high, our family, then our projects and passions or careers or what have you. So being guided to remind you guys of that. And with that being said, please, as always, go in love and light. Hone in those gifts so you can share them with the collective. Always, always, always strive for purpose, not just a pension. Peace, y'all.